Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah. New logo. New intro. Yeah. Christina, that's so dope. So dope. Shout out to C Bravo.
Yeah.
Good job on that sunflower rising or setting. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a good symbol.
So what's up?
You know.
What? Okay.
A lot.
Yeah. What is something that got you through the week?
Something that got me through the week. I would say rest. The times I had to rest.
Yeah.
Got me through the week.
Nice.
Which wasn't a lot, but
yeah.
You?
Knowing I was gonna get to see the French Connection.
The Dispatch, French Dispatch.
Yeah, that's it.
Both are films, I think. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, you saw the Wes Anderson film, and that got you through the week.
Yep.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, we got to see that. That got me through last week.
Yeah, that was last week. Yeah.
Well, among other things.
Yeah. I got a haircut, which was like real nice. It felt really good. It's like just felt fresh.
Fresh shagadelic.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, baby.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I think baking, using that puff pastry a little bit.
Oh,
not just the show, not just the baking show.
Yeah.
You know, I like that show, right?
The Great British Bake Off.
you know that show, right?
But actually using some puff pastry to make a little veggie turnover.
Little snacks yesterday. Lunch.
Yeah. So that felt good.
Yeah. Cool.
Organizing the basement. I showed AC. I made myself a much more tidy workbench. So those little things got me through the week, got me to tomorrow, each day.
Yeah. I also got a Outlander crate.
Oh, hell yeah. You got that.
Oh, my tea's up.
What's it called? Lit Joy?
Lit Joy, yeah.
Which I like that. I appreciate that mashup of the two short words. Lit.
Joy.
Enjoy. When you think lit, what do you think? What do you think of first?
The band.
Yeah? Wow, that's not at all what I expected you to ask.
And then I think of everyone saying it's lit.
Yeah, me too.
When it's good.
First thing I think of is books.
Yeah.
You think of literary.
Lit.
Yeah.
The lit section or lit class.
Yeah.
You know, to kind of playing that word lit, the other word that kind of freaks me out, which is a good word now, is everyone says fire.
People say fire like lit.
Like, yo, let's fire.
That's so lit. That's fire.
But for me, I'm like, ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something burning. What is? Sure. Why is it fire?
Yeah, you're like, why are we using that word?
What happened to hot?
That's funny.
The other thing with lit is like light. So
yeah,
so many different connotations for that 3-letter section, and then joy. Well, hell yeah, the joy, right?
Sure, yeah.
All the joy we can get. It's that superpowers. So, what's going to be on the show today?
So we have a little bit of the good, the bad, and the helpers stuff. And we have
current events.
Yeah, current event stuff. And then we have a new Nature's Amazing and So Are You segment.
With Erin D, of course.
About how to help some plants get through winter. And then we have a new Theory and Beats, right?
Yeah.
Did I miss anything?
AC.
I think that's it. Yeah.
I feel like there's some residual Halloween, Samhain. 2 weeks ago on our last program, we had the lovely guest Brie Kelly. You guys got witchy. The Nature's Amazing segment. There's some jack-o'-lanterns. And our Theory and Beats segment was also incorporating Tales from the Crypt, Beetlejuice, Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven, mashing it all together in a nice little Halloween Samhain stew of a beat. That was fun. So I'm excited for you to see what we did this week in those segments. The Hope for Us Network is all about connecting people and building a community together, learning from one another, trying not to talk over each other, and really like prioritize the listening element of the exchange that comes with building and connecting the dots. So we're going to talk about a bunch of other organizations as well. Every time you see us on the stream, we're going to talk about our other programming every time you see us on the stream. And a way to stay up on all of that stuff is to make sure that you're visiting the Hope for Us Network's Instagram, Twitter, all that, TikTok, YouTube, but most of all, the Twitch community. Share it with your friends. Throw a raid together. Come join us. Let's make it a party. And above all, if you don't already encourage your people to come on over to Twitch and hang out that aren't already on Twitch, do that and share this broadcast. Tell people, get in here. We're going to have a good time talking about the things that get us through to tomorrow. And you'll see us looking down at our phones and stuff here and there to make sure that we're tended to the chat, making sure that we listen to your ideas and we use them to make sure that the show is ever adapting and growing with this community. So I'm excited.
A little pal went right there.
Oh yeah, we didn't introduce the other pals. So as the intro told you, this is Erin D. I'm Mike B. We are married. Mm-hmm. And we have these animals here at the treehouse. This is Gandalf, this little gray cat. And Minnie is in this blanket somewhere. So she's a dachshund.
Oh, good job, bud.
And this is the very special. Oh, sorry. I should have asked first. This is the very special friend of mine, AC.
I only like getting rubbed on Tuesdays.
Only on Tuesdays. Yeah. It's cool. Yeah. And I try to remember that. And sometimes I just I'm going for the hug and it's not Tuesday. And then I'm like, hey, dude, I'll get you on Tuesday with that hug. So
Tuesday.
Yeah. So, Skramsky, gift and subs. Shout out to Skramsky. Such a kind and generous part of this. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes. Shout out.
And as always, we just want to give thanks to the network, the sentient being that knows all and steers this spaceship of stream right here from the treehouse. So without any further ado, how about we jump into that first segment? The good, the bad, and the helpers, eh?
Yeah.
Cool. Do you mind giving me a scroll on that? I remember what we're talking about, but I want to make sure that we get everything we need. All right, so Thursday was Veterans Day, 11/11. Every year, federal holiday here in America, celebrated around the world in other ways. Armistice Day, things of that nature, different names, but very much about celebrating those who have sacrificed and served in the military, in the armed forces, and very different from Memorial Day. So that's first little bit of knowledge. If you're not familiar with the veteran community or military communities at all, very different purposes and ways of honoring the military community. For Veterans Day, it's about making sure that you are looking out for those veterans in your community. And I want to also highlight Native Heritage Month, because when we think about the veteran or military communities, even the families associated with them, they have a very different existence in our society, here in America, especially.
Like what do you mean by that?
They are subject to different kind of rules and regulations when they not only say they sacrifice when they sign up to enlist and like potentially go to battle. It's like they are now giving up civilian rights to be part of a different system in which they have their own courts and their own police, and like this whole it's a different world. And if you're not part of it and you don't know, if you don't care about somebody from it, it's really easy to be like, to see it as a monolith or a caricature. So
yeah.
I think it's really important to talk about veterans and people in the military as human beings that are probably seeing way more intense things, or having to make way more challenging ethical decisions, given that they signed a piece of paper and said, "Yep, I'm in the military, and now I'm no longer a civilian. I'm a soldier," and how that impacts families and such creates a very unique subset of the population.
Yeah,
that's stigmatized in a lot of different unique ways, and also experiencing lots more layers of trauma.
Yeah.
And the reason that I bring up Native Heritage Month is because that applies to First Nation people, particularly in America.
Yeah.
Having to wrap their heads around generation upon generation of trauma.
Yeah.
And mistreatment.
And they are sometimes, grow up on reservations, which also have like their own rules.
Yeah, their own healthcare, their own courts, their own everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their own kind of
rules.
their own like I was gonna say like their own police units sometimes.
Yeah.
Yep. So
it's like a military base and a reservation are very different things.
Yeah.
But the way that mental health intersects with that type of identity subset, it's important to acknowledge that, yes, it's Veterans Day once a year. It's Native Heritage Month once a year. When these things begin and end, that is not the only time they need our support.
Yeah.
Not the only time they need to be treated like human beings and stuff like that.
And they also need, we need to learn about them so that we can further help them, so we can learn to help them better,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can't like just get a dog and not learn to take care of it. And you have to learn to be more understanding of things you don't understand by having conversations where you learn how to understand it. You learn the individual plight. Just like you have to learn to practice any skill, you have to learn that part of communication and empathy. And when you're dealing with populations that you're not a part of. I've never been in the military. Have you been in the military?
No.
Nope.
Have you had anybody in your immediate family that was in the military?
Not. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even have that, really.
Yeah. My grandfathers were, but I didn't know them. I didn't know them for most of their lives,
Sure.
Or even my life. So they were, but nobody since. But lots of friends and close friends who I consider to be family, have enlisted or whatever. So.
How about you?
Yep.
You got people close to you that are in the military community. So then you have maybe a totally different experience and like a little bit more of an understanding than someone like me that didn't have that in my family. Like you got a brother that was in the Army, is it?
Army, Special Forces.
Yeah, and I didn't have a sibling that was in that type of danger or was that in that type of kind kind of situation where, hey, like I'm going to take this oath and I'm going to serve my country, and that's like, it's heavy stuff when it's your fam, I imagine.
Yeah.
So did you ever like did you have to experience him being deployed and stuff like that?
Yep.
Yeah, and that shit was probably like, were you worried about him whenever he was like gone doing stuff? Yeah.
Are you younger or older?
No, I was older.
Yeah. So you're like a little brother. Yeah. Whew.
Yeah.
I would be so worried.
That shit's brutal, and being able to like have that real life lived experience example of how it does impact those that aren't in the military, because they love that person, makes Veterans Day all that more I think important to like highlight, and also give you all some ideas if you don't have a veteran that you love, how you can kind of send some love to that community. And a lot of these ideas likewise can go towards the Native American community as well, as far as like applying some kindness and generosity, giving your time and stuff like that. Because I certainly didn't have any First Nation, natives, whatever you want to call them. I didn't have any people in my life to learn from until very recently.
I grew up with my hometown had two reservations on it.
Oh yeah, you grew up in Nevada, so
yeah, I grew up in northern Nevada, so 2 reservations kind of on either side of the city. And yeah, so I had like Native kids in my class, and I don't know, it wasn't like a thing or anything, but I just grew up like hearing about Native cultures a lot. Yeah. So it's something that I kind of like think about a little more than some people might. But
I got probably some bogus ass suburban sterilized version of any information that I received throughout my young adulthood, probably up until I was in college, and later, where I got to learn kind of more like the real shit when it comes to those things.
I'm trying to find something that I can pop into this chat that I found. If I find it, I'll pop it in. It's just about different like Native things that you can support, shops and other social.
Yeah. To take care of ourselves the best we can, to take care of our communities the best we can. It's not about breaking everybody into these groups. Natives over here, veterans over here. It is about acknowledging that those individual traits or identities that make up a person, be it veteran, Native, gay, trans, female identifying, whatever that individual has, that comprises all the beautiful kind of colors that make them a unique individual. It's important that we start to highlight them and acknowledge them and learn about them, because then we'll all be more well-rounded. We'll all have less blind spots and act a little less like a dick when it comes to understanding maybe, or trying to be supportive of what somebody's going through.
Ooh, here's one this is the Indigenous Peoples Movement on Instagram. There's visual artists, musicians, writers, activists, and athletes, which is cool. So those are like all listed in there. But yeah, I think like it's important. Sorry, I kind of interrupted you, and it's kind of a side note, but it's important to like, if you like, if you like Indigenous patterns and prints, don't buy them from somebody who isn't an Indigenous maker. Buy them from someone who is, because that's like the appropriate place, and then you're not supporting appropriation of these cultures as much, I guess.
Yeah. And I'm wearing my Hicks Strong shirt. If you want to support those in the veteran community, there's lots of really quality NPOs doing work out there. Hicks Strong is really special because they give veterans free telehealth therapy. So if you have a veteran in your life that you love, or someone that's in the military that just needs some help, Strong can connect them. They also do a bunch of cool service like hug mugs, where I've got my hug mug over there. They sent me, even though I'm not a veteran, when we worked together, they showed their appreciation by sending me one.
Yeah.
And pretty special stuff. So
where is it?
it's right there by your museum.
Cool.
Yeah, there it is, and it's cool. It's got a big old face on it. It's a big old mug too.
It
Happy, sad,
coffee,
before coffee, after coffee, and it's amazing. You could probably fit like a whole half, maybe 4 cups maybe in there. I don't know. That's amazing. So
2 tops.
And along with those resources related to the veteran community, on Veterans Day, if you go to the Hope for Us Network's Instagram, you just go check out that post that they made. There's some great resources. I'm going to pull them up now and just read them to you really quick. Here we are. So there's the Road Home program. They're out of Rush University Hospital here in Chicago, and they will help you out if you're a family that's somewhere else, not in the Chicagoland area. They could even help out sometimes getting you that assistance and getting you here, getting you some support. Pick Strong, as I already let you know. So those will also be listed. The Recovery Village, really excellent emotional support and recovery options for veterans. There's Project Uplift. When it comes to veteran populations, there's a lot of homelessness. So homeless prevention, community development, provisions of necessary resources to low-income families with the intentions of mentoring those ready to supersede past their present unfortunate state and beyond. So Hope for the Warriors is another support program for service members, veterans, and military families. And, there's so many other quality organizations providing support to military communities. And then, of course, we had World Kindness Day yesterday.
Yeah.
So while you're scrolling that Instagram grid over at the Hope for Us Network, check out that World Kindness post from yesterday, because these little tidbits of information that are based in science really helped me on a real particularly rough day. Practicing kindness can boost serotonin and dopamine levels in your brain, which are known as the feel-good happy hormones. What are some of the other things you guys can think of besides practicing kindness that boost serotonin and dopamine? Let's hear it in the chat. Let's hear it here on the couch.
Smiling.
Yeah, just smiling even when you don't feel like fucking smiling, quite honest.
Yeah.
Can create a reaction where it is boosting those happy hormones.
Yeah, that sends something to your brain to smile more, which is fun.
Yeah, pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Laughter. When you start smiling so much that turns to laughter.
Oh, hugging.
Like
if you have somebody that you like to hug, if you're not a hugger, and you hug them for
or if it's Tuesday.
Yeah. I think it's 30 seconds, a long time. You're supposed to hold on. It's supposed to be really good for your brain, and your brain starts releasing little hits.
Rather than a 3-second hug, you're talking more
30 30 seconds or more.
Probably because you're embracing, pulling and sharing that energy.
Yeah. So I don't know, couples therapists will be hug your partner every day for a long time.
Opening your heart.
Yeah.
That's kind of like a throwback to what Bree was talking about with the heart chakras and stuff like that. And the energy sharing.
Pets, cuddling your
petting.
Pets?
Well, isn't there something about a cat purring?
Yeah.
Like that vibration?
Yeah, it's good. They think it reduces your chance of specifically heart related stuff. The purring. Or having a cat and having them purr. Isn't that wild?
It's amazing.
I would have to look up the exact.
Yeah, animals have over and over again. Research has shown that they can provide different, varying levels of emotional support, from being a therapy animal all the way to just being a buddy that kind of supports you.
Yeah. Well, also, if I'm in a really pretty depressed period, sometimes the only reason I leave the house is to walk Minnie.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, oh, okay. And then that's good because then you're getting out and you're walking. But it's like, I wouldn't do that so much for myself. It's like she has to, I have to take her out.
Yeah.
Because you're in that mind state. But
yeah, there's tons of different ways. If you're in that dark chocolate and you just have a little nib and you're like, or I'm sure that like sugar in all of its forms in some way gives you a little blast. But ultimately, the things that make you feel good will boost those feel good, happy hormones, which are not just serotonin and dopamine. There's lots of names, and you don't have to be an expert. There's oxytocin. There is also ones that are more like associated with negative things like adrenaline and cortisol. But these things are special too for their own reasons. So if that's something that interests you, the science side of things, it can be really helpful as far as like if you're in a dark place and you're just needing something to get you through to tomorrow, thinking about it that way can sometimes like help me get out of my head and think about like what's truly happening here. Oh, I know that it is from education and learning and wanting to talk openly about it. I'm experiencing symptoms like when I have the sniffles for a cold. I'm experiencing symptoms from my mental health right now not being 100%. So and it's really like good to remind ourselves of those things, trying to break down that shame, that stigma, and that concealment culture that we're always talking about here at the network. So
yeah.
Let's see what else. A lot of good news and bad news wrapped up in there, right? Because being a part of the veteran community, well, I wish that people didn't have to be in the military and go fight wars. I wish people didn't have to. I don't know. Be in a situation where
wish there wasn't white supremacy.
Yeah, there wasn't white supremacy, colonialism, imperialistic attitudes, whiteness that have shaped, really what the country's all modeled after. But we also just want to highlight the helpers in that, where there's lots of great resources out there for what we discuss with the veterans. And then I guess the other big topic of this that intersects with natives is this notion of Thanksgiving. You can believe a fairy tale if you like for Thanksgiving, if it makes you feel better, but it's kind of, I think, more important to take this time of Thanksgiving and this season to give to people of your time and of yourself. And there's lots of ways you can do that. And you can still do that and say fuck Christopher Columbus, it's just right.
Zing.
Can you still do kindness during Thanksgiving? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
actually
gratitude's a dopamine thing. Sure. So there's been a lot of really cool people on the Tomorrow Show so far. This is episode 6. We had Myron Laban on. He's doing his Uplift campaign and he's made little models that he's dropping. So go check him out again from episode 1 on our YouTube. You can watch that episode anytime you want because it was a banger. It was pretty great. And he's awesome. Go support him, support that artist this season, and buy some art from an artist directly to give as a gift. It's pretty cool way to do it.
And buy native.
Yeah.
Like candy.
And if you wanted to wrap it all up into a holiday gift of some sort, you could support different veteran-owned businesses, different veteran organizations like Hick Strong, and different Native organizations as well. Like there's a lot here in Chicago, actually, which is pretty nice. And I think that like if you want to get hyper local, even there is some pretty cool stuff happening with Coffee, Hip Hop, and Mental Health. They were on an earlier episode. They are having their second session of an anxiety and grief, like group free session with a in-house therapist
That's
on
awesome.
board. So
I love-
that's
yeah,
today,
I
the
love
second
that
seat. Yeah.
therapist is just there.
Yeah. So they're doing that at the Lululemon store where they're popped up right now, or they're building out the People's Coffee Shop even bigger and even better, which we highlighted on, I don't know, episode 3, maybe.
Yeah.
Might have been
Something
episode
like
2,
that.
actually. So check that out on the YouTube. Have a little more frame of reference, or just go to Coffee, Hip Hop, and Mental Health's website, CHHAMH.org, because they got Christmas initiatives. Do you remember when we helped out with a Christmas initiative in the middle of the summer?
Yeah. Christmas in July.
Yeah, so that was cool. And AC, you remember going to Thalia Hall for that Coffee, Hip Hop, and Mental Health event?
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, man. Any memories from that night that really stand out?
Just how much that community came together, I guess, for that event. It was huge. You don't see that all the time.
It was
So
a
it was
special
nice.
night, right? Really special night, and really cool that they host weekly talks and stuff like that, because these talks need to be had. On to kind of telling you where you can go this afternoon if you want to go catch that anxiety and grief session. 944 West North Avenue. It's the Lululemon store. It's upstairs.
3 to 5.
3 to 5. They validate parking in the garage below. They're on their Instagram. There's a list of items they just started collecting yesterday. So from November 13th to December 20th, they have drop-off hours at the shop over at Lululemon, 944 West North Avenue, from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And requested items, new only, please. There's a little list here that I'm going to read. Children's toys, infant to 12 years old, ideally. Children's winter coats, hats, gloves, coats, hats, and gloves for teens.
Kids and adults.
Yeah.
Yep. All across the board.
And then you got games for teens and families, socks, hats, scarves for adults, and family gift cards for essentials. Pretty badass list, right?
Pretty good list.
Yeah, so that's like hyper local. You can donate. You can be a part of making 500 families holiday season a little nicer, a little more jolly and
Can you imagine
supported.
I love the gift card idea.
Me too. Yeah, they do an excellent job of kind of coming together as a team and discussing what's going to be really helpful.
Can you imagine that, like,
at that organization?
You didn't have your essentials, and then
Yeah.
but
That would
you're
suck.
given a gift card, so you can get what you prefer. Not just like
Yes, indeed. Yes,
what is
indeed.
given, yeah.
And just if you want to even more hyper local, we're like right at the edge of Humboldt Park here. So People Over Profit is a mutual aid, free space, free store in Humboldt Park, and they're doing a sandwich making meetup. That's pretty cool, right? On Black Wednesday, right before Thanksgiving. If you wanted to get down on that, they're making sandwiches for the community with the community. That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I love that.
6 to 8 p.m. At People Over Profit, and that location is 2712 Division. So supplies will be provided, but you got to DM them to RSVP. So get on Instagram, slide in their DMs, People Over Profit, and say, yeah, I want to come help make sandwiches. I mean, it sounds like a really small thing, but just imagine the impact. Instead of just feeling like your money's going towards something, because sometimes you donate to an organization and maybe like, well, that felt good, but it's really nice when you can see like one-to-one impact. Like if you are, connecting somebody with Hicks Strong and they actually get something to hold and remind them that someone gives a shit, or they get free telehealth therapy, or they get a sandwich, all those things are pretty cool.
Sandwich.
A sandwich. Yeah, I say sandwich. What are some other ways that people can volunteer on Thanksgiving, no matter where they live?
you could go grocery shopping for a bunch of families, or go to a food bank, or a soup kitchen, food bank, soup kitchen. I think that it's important to like figure out the things that you're most passionate about, the type of people you're most passionate about, and help them, So like, if you're really passionate about helping the South Side of Chicago, then go there. If you're really passionate about helping indigenous cultures, go there. There's like all of that kind of, all of these things apply to, all types of people and places. Many.
Yeah, definitely.
Or veterans.
Think about your community for sure.
Like foster children. Yeah. Whatever whatever group that you're feeling the most passionate toward.
And let's not forget like elderly communities.
Yeah. Oh God, there's so many awesome options for that.
Yeah, you can make holiday cards. I could make a person's day that like maybe doesn't get a lot of visitors. There's also the Last Prisoner Project that's trying to get people that are incarcerated for cannabis charges, trying to get them out. So there's a lot of people that are sitting in jail while we smoke our legal cannabis and things like that. So that'd be pretty lonely, right? Being incarcerated, dealing with the criminal justice system.
Specifically,
God damn.
Brown and black individuals.
So it's like writing them some notes. That's it's not nothing. It's something really special, and it's a little thing that could get that person through to tomorrow. I would say that like just having a conversation counts as well with somebody that's really been around a long time, not getting a lot of visitors, or someone from the veteran community, indigenous community, what have you. Just get to know somebody. That stuff matters too. So if you're in the local area, there's tons of options to donate where you can have that one-to-one impact. Especially like think about the Love Fridge. There's a bunch of different locations in different neighborhoods.
What's the Love Fridge?
The Love Fridge is a mutual aid project. You can look them up. The Love Fridge exists all over the nation, where people fill up the fridge with stuff you can take just to help feed your family. Produce, things like that.
So cool.
They got little pantries and stuff.
Yeah, like I think the pantry thing is like, expected, but the fact that there's like there'll be like meat and cheese and like milks.
They stock them, and people
stuff that needs to be cold is like that's like unprecedented. Yeah.
The community stocks it, and the community eats from it, and it's pretty neat. And I would say that.
And I think you just go up to it and put your stuff in there, right?
Yeah, I'm sure that
I don't think you have to necessarily.
There's likely people that tend to them to make sure that they're maintained and stuff, and they don't get all funky.
But it's not like you have to go, which for people with anxiety, you don't have to like.
You don't have to talk to shit.
Go through anything.
That's that's a great point. You just walk up to that shit, you check it out. They're covered in street art usually. They're usually commissioned to be tagged up by somebody who's super talented and makes them beautiful.
Like I've seen people on some of the community groups that I'm a part of that they'll be like, I have all these HelloFresh boxes that I forgot to cancel, and I have to go out of town. So take them there or whatever.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for one that's like also veteran owned, there's Dion's Dream Fridge, nice. Which is in Inglewood, and Dion's a real amazing inspiration to the community, and check him out. Absolutely.
I just got kerflipped.
His family jumps in and helps out. His Instagram's pretty fire. They're always trying to bring that fun. What's Inglewood Barbie was another individual that feeds people. Bree Kelly was talking about after we went off the air. So maybe you'll see us down in Inglewood with Inglewood Barbie feeding some people this holiday season. We did promise Bree that we would tag team that and do a field trip. So one thing about donating food, if you're donating cans, I love you. I'm so glad you're doing that. Get the pop top shit. You can't guarantee that this individual that is very hungry is going to get a can opener with the can. So pop top it or donate some damn can openers too. I know that sounds silly, but it's really, really important. So, yeah. And invite a family to a holiday dinner if that's like within your means and your comfort level, you know?
Oh, that's something I love about your aunts.
Yeah.
It's like, if you have a friend who needs a place, bring them with you.
My grandpa passed this last week, and he was 91, and he had that same generosity spirit, and so did Grace, my grandmother that passed about 11 years ago to bring me back to Chicago. Both of them didn't matter if they had never met the person in their lives. If you had a friend that couldn't get home to see their family or whatever, you could always come to our Thanksgiving. So that stands. So anybody in your life is like kind of needing some people during the holidays, don't be scared to step up and really be that hope in their world. So
Yeah,
there should be some good ideas for the good, the bad, and the helpers. Let's all be helpers, right? So let's get on with it, eh? Happy Thanksgiving, early Thanksgiving to y'all. And let's talk about the harvest.
this cat right now, so silly.
Nature time.
Yeah, so I'm kind of like sad in a way because our garden is just it was still popping until this week.
Popping.
Like we have like wildflowers randomly growing still. We had like
Beautiful wildflowers. Did you
Yeah.
see them when you walked in?
Mm-hmm.
we have like all these green peppers that were still growing, and they're not ripe yet, but they're gonna get frozen out, and it just was like, well, okay.
Yeah, it's just it's time.
It's time. So
Seasons change.
So I've been reading a little bit about how to like what to do with your plants in the winter. And if you should like clear out, so like we have tomato plants and pepper plants that we grew, whether or not you should like clear those out or not before like the winter comes. And some
she's burrowing.
So a point that I liked that somebody made on a group that I'm a part of was that if you leave those plants, then all the like winter birds that don't fly south and the little squirrels and bunnies, we have a lot of bunnies in our neighborhood, they'll have like stuff to eat. So if you just leave them, then like they'll eat the seeds and they'll eat like even if the fruit isn't ripe, they'll still be like, oh look, a frozen tomato, this is great, whatever. So if you just leave them out, that's fine. And then in the spring you can kind of like tend to it. But also another part of that is that that like debris goes into your soil and stuff, and that's good too. So yeah, so you just leave it, and so
it's
I
like
just
mutual aid of nature.
Yeah, so I just save like the seeds that I might want, clipped back all the herbs and that stuff. But yeah,
damn,
the tomato plants are just out there freezing slowly.
Yeah, it's chilly out today, huh?
It's a little cold out today.
Nature is amazing. Mother Nature is a motherfucker. Right?
Yeah.
I don't even like it.
And if you've never been to Chicago during the winter months, the air turns into really nasty stuff that burns your face. I don't like it.
Where I grew up,
yeah,
the Paiutes, I believe, or the Shoshone call it pogo nip. This is just a side note, but pogo nip is frozen ice crystals that are in the air, and if you breathe it in, it can like harm your lungs.
Huh.
So you have to be like very careful in northern Nevada of pogo nip, and they'll tell you on the news if it's like, but it's like frozen ice.
It's like ice fog.
Yeah. Yes. Ice fog.
Damn.
So yeah.
Crazy.
So
sounds like a
so
Stephen
pogo
King
nip.
book.
Yeah.
Like Mist.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a Stephen King book?
Yeah, I think
Also a computer game.
different mists, but yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, like you want to introduce this clip at all, or you kind of just did?
Yeah.
Yes?
So yeah.
If you haven't seen Nature is Amazing and So Are You with Erin D, please check out all the previous installments, and we'll probably get those posted up on YouTube as individual standalone clips pretty soon. So you can just have a taste. So we're gonna sit back and learn a little something from Erin D. Network, will you please cue up that nature video, please? Got a little fuzzy butt.
Nature is amazing and so are you.
Okay, everyone. I'm outside in my yard, and I'm gonna show you how to winterize your garden. Just some like little tips that you can do that will help your perennials come back the following year, hopefully. That's the hope, at least. I still have a bunch of my herbs that are ready to clip and dry. So first thing I'll do is show you how I do that. All right, so here I have purple and golden sage, rosemary, and sorrel. And these are really long, and it's supposed to freeze tomorrow, maybe tonight. So I'm gonna clip these before they're just gone by the frost. You can try to bring your boxes inside. I find that they need so much water that it's hard for me to continue watering them. So that's why I'm gonna clip them, and then I'm gonna try to winterize them. I'll also do the lemon verbena here, and this lemongrass, which is my first year doing it, so I'll learn how to clip that, and the thyme over here too. And then I also have, these are pretty wild. These have gone pretty crazy, which is fun. But yeah, I'm gonna save those as well. So if you're not winterizing and you're just pruning your herbs, you want to cut where there's little V's, okay? So anytime that any of the leaves just kind of branch out. So like right there would be a good, you could just clip right there, and then more growth is gonna come out where you trimmed it. So yeah, that kind of is why you get these little branches. So you can see I clipped it here, and then these branches branch off. So that helps an herb or a plant become just more sturdy. Handy dandy clippers. Okay, like that. Now, when you are winterizing, you can just clip everything way back. So like for instance, I could just clip this all the way back to the bottom, because you aren't gonna have it growing all winter. So we can kind of just clip a lot of this off. Okay, so I'm gonna finish that up and then I'll show you. So this is kind of what it's looking like after I clip it all. Still have these tiny little cute little baby shoots in there. These little golden sage ones. Now all of this like debris actually is gonna help kind of insulate the herbs. So I'm gonna just leave that there, and I'm gonna eventually put bark all covering this. Okay, so let me do these last two. The rosemary, I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna go way down. It sucks that it's gonna be winter because this is so happy right now. So that's like a freaking tree. So woody. So this can just be on a drying rack to dry, or you can use it fresh. But look at that, so much rosemary. It's my fave. Okay. Yeah, so winterized lemon verbena all the way down, cut all the way down. This is wood mint, and this Corsican mint is this ground covering, which I love. That's just gonna get frosted out. This is actually the second year that I've had this box, and it's come back. So I'm gonna cross my fingers that it comes back again. It's kind of a fun, wild one. Okay. Now this bee balm isn't looking great. I'm just gonna clip all that back, and then I'm in the tarragon too, and the lemon balm. So lemon balm is all right. Next year, I know that my lemongrass is gonna shade everything out, and I'm gonna give it its own box. But for now, cutting it all back. This is also in its second year. The dill and the cilantro went to seed pretty fast. There was also parsley in here, I believe. They go to seed really fast if you don't clip them constantly. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at with those. But now this is salvia, nasturtium, and marigolds. These marigolds, I have learned that with like the seeds and stuff, you can just leave them. What that's gonna help do is next year those will just, these little seeds in here that come in, these will just, we could collect these seeds. I might do that with some of them. Look at, those are all seeds. So we could, oh, that's so cool. So I'm gonna kind of just put them in here. And I'm gonna also take some. I'm gonna dry these, and I'm going to save them, and that's gonna be our little marigold seeds that we'll try next year as an experiment. Okay, so this here is antique red yarrow, and these are more seeds from the yarrow. So I'm gonna clip this all back. I'm gonna collect those seeds, dry the herb, because yarrow is good for lots of stuff. And I think hopefully next year we can try to plant those seeds. The hyssop too, I'm not sure if there's little seeds in there, but we could try that. Just kind of experimenting. Okay. So cut back. These yummy knees. Okay, so this is just brown mulch, no color or anything. And I'm just gonna spread that all over across, like make a big thick layer. Now, the idea is that it holds in the moisture and keeps the roots warm, basically. If it's really, really, really cold where you're from, which probably is here in Chicago, you can take all these into like inside. You just have to remember to water them. Like they still need to get water. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go over this because I just want those seeds to go into the soil. Okay, so yeah, just make like a big, thick layer. So all right, so like that. Big thick layer, and that's just gonna insulate their little roots a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was awesome.
So yeah, you just wanna, so I learned a few years ago that you can try to bring back certain plants by doing that method, and then hopefully like they'll stay warm enough. I think it's just like the idea is that the mulch protects like the little itty bits, the little parts of the plants that are exposed. They're not like directly exposed to the cold that way. So it like helps a little bit to insulate them. So
I learned a ton of shit in that video, didn't you?
It's one of the things. It's like, this may work, it may not. It worked for some of our strawberries last year, but not all of them.
That's
but
true.
Some people just take that stuff like into their basement or their whatever space you have. They just take them inside, but you have to go in there and remember to water them. And I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't remember. Sure. But like some people are like, I have to go water the strawberry plant that is technically napping in the basement right now.
Napping.
It's basically hibernating, like a bear.
You know what I call the strawberries that did come back?
What?
Strongberries.
So anyway, that's the point of that.
That's cool. When you smushed what was like a dried bud, basically.
Yeah.
But it was a seed pod also.
Yeah.
And all those seeds rolled out of her fingers.
That was pretty cool.
That was amazing. And your new hairstyle is just rocking in that video too. By the way,
thanks.
Just a side note.
So crazy.
Yeah, you know. Do you like her new hair?
I do.
I guess I'm putting you on the spot, huh?
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's great. That was Nature is Amazing, and So Are You, with Erin D. And I hope you watch tons of other installments of that, because you learned so much in every one of those. It's pretty great.
Thanks.
Pretty great. And I mean, you know a lot of things about like the herbs and stuff that you were harvesting, and you and Brie Kelly on the last episode were kind of going back and forth about lavender and things of that nature. Have you always been this into like herbs and herbalism and all that stuff, or is that kind of a new thing?
I've been into it, but like I don't think I realize like the depth that it all has.
Yeah.
Well, I did, I guess. So my grandfather and my mom were really into gardening. Like one of my earliest and only memories of my grandfather is like seeing him in his garden. He had this really cool house near Napa. It was unbelievable. And he had this like little garden. And yeah, my mom always loved gardening, and she always had like 1,000 gardening books that I have now started to inherit. But yeah, so I always thought it was cool, and she like taught me a lot of just like little things about taking care of plants. But yeah, like I've gotten really into like identifying plants and like finding out what some of them can be used for. And a lot of that comes from like a lot of indigenous cultures like have figured out what to use medicinally from plants. You know, that stuff's just so cool to me. So that is the part of it that I feel like is newer and is like growing. My interest in is growing. But
when we had Brie over, you learned a bunch of stuff too about herbs that you maybe didn't know before. Have you had any have you treated yourself to a moment with some hot tea at all since then?
Not yet.
You think that's something you'll do?
Yeah.
And sure. I read my Oracle card that I pulled. I remember I got the 4-pager.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very beautiful, very inspirational and comforting, and at a time that, you know, I'm feeling a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like, still processing a lot of grief.
What gave you like comfort from it?
It was talking about the paradox of grace. Or I can.
No, I just mean like vaguely, like what was like.
Okay, vaguely speaking, it's more like the idea that our ancestors and that like our lineage and like all the spirits of those, family members that are no longer here, whether you are thinking of one in particular, or you're thinking of like the whole lot of them, you know, like all of your family that's ever been here, all of their energy is like giving you this divine strength to be whatever you want to be, and to be successful and to thrive and stuff like that. But essentially the paradox of grace is that it's really hard to give yourself grace and to believe in yourself that you are, you're going to totally manifest all your hopes and dreams, because self-doubt is just crippling sometimes, so yeah, it's just like it was a good affirmation, I think, hearing it from a card, but also ultimately, while we were sitting with Bree, looking across the table and knowing that it meant something to Bree Kelly, and it was something that was supportive in her lived experience of dealing with stress and anxiety and depression, and knowing that I was pulling this card that was charged up with that kind of intention and feeling.
Cool.
Yeah. Yours hit you too, for sure, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, mine was like, I felt like mine was so spot on too. It's really interesting.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. And it's just amazing that some of those things that you were harvesting could be a component of that self-care and that self-kindness, and taking a moment to be present and grateful for like just a hot cup of something.
Yeah.
And just being there in that moment. So yeah, shout out to all the green witches and all the beautiful plants that grow and turn into things that we use and that we eat. And man, nature's amazing. I'm excited for this next segment. AC, did you get a chance to review this magical installment, this segment of Theory and Beats? You lived it. You didn't need to, right?
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
But you remember, do you want to set this up at all? This Theory and Beats? Do you remember how it started?
You said we needed to make a scary song or something.
Yeah, I was feeling that Halloween spirit, and I was really pushing hard for us to almost like rehash what we had done in the previous session.
Yep.
But with just like different elements.
Mm-hmm. Different beats, different stuff.
And I think the first portion of it, part one, we were doing like earlier in the morning than we typically did. I think we were trying to squeeze it in. It was like a morning session or something like that. Because the energy from part one to part two, like me and you are both like in different like headspaces, different vibes, and I think it's one of the best Theory and Beats yet. I'm gonna say it.
It's all right. I don't know. It might be. It's in the top.
Well,
it's
the
good.
song's cool. I know that like what we ended up with is something to be really proud of. So
Yeah.
we'll get to hear the full song here at the end. But for now, we're gonna time travel through space and time to AC's Beat Lab for this episode's Theory and Beats.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be so awesome. So network, when you're ready, cue up that Theory and Beats.
Please.
As behind the scenes, making terrified.
I'm gonna do the Theory and Beats lights.
Let's bring that Theory Beats full screen.
Your
Nobody wants to
savings.
see us.
I like that beat. I could probably sell this beat for sure.
Or you could not sell it. All Theory and Beats like. Did you listen to White Zombie at all when you were here?
Not really.
No. What about Rob Zombie?
I like his movies.
You do?
Yeah.
What's your favorite Rob Zombie movie?
What is that? Devil's Rejects?
Cool. Devil's Rejects. Did you know he's remaking the Monsters?
I heard about that.
You should actually pull up the Monsters opening theme. We should kind of do another Halloween inspired riff, I think. Just like we did with Tales from the Crypt. No. Munsters. M-U-N, not monsters.
You know what, Mike?
You know what? There you go.
No one
Monsters
needs your shit this early.
I know. Yeah.
This gives me more surfer than scary movie, to be honest.
The riff, it's totally like Pulp Fiction. You're right.
It doesn't give me scary movie.
Look up Rob Zombie Monsters remake.
I bet it's more metal.
Click that first thing.
It's just the cast and makeup, though.
Don't you want to see how metal they look?
No, we can.
You want to hear
find
some
that
music?
we can see that on the trailer.
What you doing?
I don't know yet. I'm over here just looking for answers. Just trying to figure it out, the best way I can. Oh boy.
Do you feel influenced by Halloween?
Sometimes I do.
I feel influenced by Halloween.
So what do we
Make our own Halloween scary beat.
yeah, what do we want to try?
Do you ever just pick kits because of the name?
Sometimes I do.
We're gonna try and find a kit now just to make the drums with. Are they just randomly assigned to the pads when you click on a kit?
This is our 120. So we're trying to go faster or slower than that?
I think with the BPM of 120, we keep it nice and open like that. If we want to slow it down, we always can. Because if we want it to be like slow, like kind of prowling and stuff, that's how you lay over that 120 for sure. Is that a note that comes with the bass? It's like combined. Yeah, do that.
So you want to keep this?
Yeah, I think it's ominous. I think that sounds kind of like, oh shit, what's happening? I'm scared. Fear. And then you'll line that up. I like that texture you've added. It's spooky, but it's also kind of like chilled and like it's like a creepy doll or something. AC, you ever seen Child's Play with Chucky? This kind of reminds me of like a new Chucky theme song. But then like maybe Chucky's not so bad. Yeah, maybe that's what we need. The direction we need to take this way. It's like spooky, but it's also funny, Halloween style. Because that fucking movie was silly, but also like really violent and scary. So
Very.
is that Chucky saying praise him? I'm terrified. I'm terrified. Chucky from Child's Play is not a bad guy, but I'm still terrified. You terrified? Well, I like where this spooky beat is headed. We should, bounce this into like GarageBand and since we have limited time today, maybe just put a little placeholder that's sort of on the goofy side about the Child's Play thing, and then I don't know, maybe take a more serious approach to this about talking about like what we're actually terrified of, or what we're scared of. A little more vulnerable approach. What do you think?
Yeah,
You like that?
That can work.
Oh, look at There it is. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, let me see that. So satisfying. Extending the loop. Shoop, shoop, shoop. Make it as long you want. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Thanks, buddy.
All right, you're live.
Let's do it. Sounds cool. Makes me slightly terrified. All right. Let's give this a try. Turns out Chucky from Child's Play is not a bad guy. Still, I'm terrified. Of all the things in life that I'm scared of, I'd say loneliness and the dark are up there. I'm terrified. That's good for now. Terrified, I'm terrified. Terrified, I'm terrified. All right. How many songs do you think start with just one word? Probably as many buildings that have just started with one brick. I don't know what happened. It to me.
I'm gonna try to.
Let's do some homework, right? Let's write about what we're...
Homework?
Let's write some lyrics.
What the fuck is homework?
Lyric homework. You know? Lyric homework. Talk about what we're terrified of. What are you terrified about? You got some other ideas?
Yeah.
Like what? You're not gonna tell me? What do you mean?
It's gonna be dope though.
It's gonna be dope. They're just like all bubbling up in your brain? Yeah. You're not gonna share with me then? Hopefully it doesn't suck, is what you said?
Yeah. I literally just wrote this.
I know. I was writing words in my phone too that we'll give a try too. But this is like what we used to do old school style.
Yep.
When we'd like have the groups and get people to make music together.
Put on my ear goggles, now I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
That's a Beastie Boy reference for some of y'all that don't know.
Theory and beats.
If you don't know, better ask somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Check your head.
All right.
You gonna go for it?
Yeah, dude. let's see if I can do this in one take. Friday night, I'm at my wit's end. The reason I just got paid and all my money spent, rent. 2 bills on this check, what's left? Enough for a trip to Aldi's to keep my stomach fed. So much I dread, still have to keep it going. I'm hoping that my stress really isn't showing, but knowing that it's all written on my face. This high anxiety has me in a weird place. My mental state needs help, so I ask. So every other Monday night, talking about my past. An hour long leaves me strong, still I'm still shaking. Trying to stay positive, life is what you make it. Still face it, misery is getting the best of me. For some reason, this silly sucker out here wants my company. Come for me, I can't scream. Keep the tears from my eyes. All these panic attacks have leave me terrified.
Hell yeah.
I'll have to redo that, but cool. My verse is done. What's up?
Yeah.
What's up?
AC.
It's popping.
Oh, hell yeah. We're doing this. Terrified. Inspired by Halloween, but goddamn, so much deeper. All right.
I was just riffing off what you did.
Yeah, I'm gonna try mine next.
So
Scared that I'm feeling, scared of regret. Scared that I'm feeling, scared of regret. Scared you don't like me, but you don't even know me yet.
That was good chopping.
Scared that I'm feeling, scared of regret.
That's a bad one. You could delete that. Man, thanks for getting vulnerable with me on those lyrics, buddy. I've been having some fucking mega stressful bullshit.
I got real on some of that shit.
You sure did. I'm proud of you.
And it's okay to get real in your music. Some of the best artists and lyricists are very real about what they're going through and what they're experiencing. So don't ever feel embarrassed to be real.
Authenticity.
We're all there, if anything, probably like helps other people be like, oh, it's not just me. That's real when I'm like, yo, just got paid. Rent, gone. 2 bills out of that check, gone. Cool. Got enough to eat some food. Go get some Aldi's. That's real, man. Everyone goes through that. It's okay to talk about it.
On the next Erin Beats. Bye. Yeah. Oh man. AC. That was awesome, dude.
Go ahead.
Oh,
away,
weird.
story.
I have this stupid function on my computer that I don't really like, where it'll think I'm talking to it. It'll interrupt what I'm doing. But back to
Well,
what
that
I
was
was
fun.
saying. Yeah, that was awesome. Did you like that? You like
Yeah.
our new song?
Yeah.
I thought it would be fun for the end of the show just to I made a little full video of our full song mix of the video with some visuals that I threw together.
A lyric video?
No,
Oh.
but I definitely just made a graphic. So I was inspired by the network. The network, when we did
Network.
remember when we did that Theory and Beats where I brought a harmonica over to your place and we made that song up, Nothing Special.
Sure.
Well, it was awesome because the network all of a sudden just blasted out a album art square. It was like a harmonica and a psychedelic background. And it said Nothing Special. It was very cool.
I remember that.
And so we had like a little listening sesh with that, and that was cool. So I was inspired by the network and took a crack at this one.
The network.
For Terrified, and I really just tried to make you look cool. You know what I'm saying, AC? Which is not hard.
That's a
I
lot
was
of
gonna
work.
say no. It
Yeah.
isn't.
You're cool. You're
Look at
already
this
cool.
cat right now.
you're cool in an effortless kind of way, and
Thank you.
yeah.
I wish everyone could see his belly.
Oh yeah, he's chilling right now, which is nice. It's always nice when he's cuddly and not getting into mischief, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
AC's watched Gandalf when we've been out of town, and
Yeah, sorry for digressing.
he gets into mischief, right?
Yep.
He gets into some mischief. Is he on any of your beats that are unreleased? Did Gandalf do a
No.
he didn't spit a verse or anything like that, or like lay down some sort of collaboration? No percussion.
His super croaky loud meow. Wow.
We'll have to put him on the track.
All right. Anyway.
Uncle AC.
Yeah. So
What did you think of that song?
I thought it was really awesome. I thought that I really like AC's lyrics.
Thanks.
Me too.
Yeah.
Powerful lyrics. Powerful ass lyrics.
Siri wants to be part of the episode still.
I found 6 matching contacts. Could you be more specific?
Jeez. I'm gonna disable that because that is annoying.
Siri just wants to be part of the show.
I guess so. But yeah, your lyrics are really great, and I think what was special about it is I just wanted to do something silly, even though I was having a bunch of feelings, and you just kind of pushed me a little bit, which is what a friend does sometimes, and a collaborator, and I got to talk about my Gramps.
Yep.
Being kind of at the end in real time, rather than bottling up the emotion, carrying it with me to next year, and then deciding to putting that pain into something. I was doing it like in real time, which I guess over this whole pandemic, there's been a couple of breakthrough moments like that, and they've all kind of been with you, man, because like when I was really struggling and coming over and like hitting the bag, it was like dealing with all the overloading emotions right then, because I think when it gets really loud in my head and there's like so many things like contending with my attention.
You just got real wily. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Hey, no
But
biting.
like, a lot of different overlapping stressors snowballing in my head. That shit starts to feel like being terrified because like I'm like in total panic,
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was also cool to be inspired by you and pushed by you to come up with some words that I feel like articulate it better than I've been able to in the past, like about that snowball effect, in something that's somewhat succinct and not like too many extra things in there because it feels like you go and go and go. Right?
AC, what is there anything specifically that you do that like gets you more inspired to write?
No, not really.
It just do you feel like it just kind of like comes?
Yeah.
That's cool.
You look pretty possessed when you were like when you were inspired in that moment where like it was just like flying out of you.
I think it was like you should never feel pressured by anyone or anything, to do something. But I think I felt pressured to like write something, and not like Mike was like, dude, we got to do this. Like we have to do this song right now.
Yeah.
It was more or less like more pressure from me. Like, hey, you were supposed to do this and you didn't. And now Mike is here and you guys have to do this right now.
No, sometimes pressure.
Crunch time.
Sometimes that's like the only thing that works for me.
Yeah. It can be a good and a bad thing. Sometimes you write or you do really good things under pressure.
Mm.
And sometimes it can be a train wreck.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was special to be a part of, and I'm just excited to see what we do with all this music that you're creating, and what you do with the follow up to Quarantine Chronicles Volume 1. Super excited to hear what Volume 2 has in store for people. If you haven't, since he's not going to probably say it, go listen, buy, stream AC Quarantine Chronicles Volume 1 on all the streaming platforms. Just go find them, go shout them out, go talk about people that you can interact with directly, help build them up, because every band, every huge band that you are aware of right now started somewhere as nobody, or started as a small independent label, brand, etc. So
Is it on like all the usual streaming?
it's on all that shit.
Oh,
It's everywhere.
And quick shout out to Jackson. He just released a song.
Oh.
Yeah, let's shout that out. Jackson J. Kidder. J spelled out Jay. Jackson J. Kidder. The song is beautiful.
Yeah.
Those things.
Yeah,
I believe is what it's called.
Yeah.
The title, and I
So he is
can't
like
recommend it more highly.
kind of, he went to school for like upright bass, but he has this amazing voice, and has luckily like found the confidence to
Found his voice.
make some songs, and they're gorgeous. So
Yeah, he recorded with Bradley Bocce in Sydney, down in North Carolina, and is now going to start releasing this material that I've been waiting a long time to hear. And man, that first taste of it,
it's good.
I listened to it a bunch of times over and over. That bridge,
Mm-hmm.
he does this crazy vocal run. Whew. So check him out. Definitely, like play all of those on a playlist. Put a playlist together of local artists that you care about, and try to spread the word to all the people in your particular vicinity. That's how this works. The network. Boop, 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 boop.
maybe we should make a playlist.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, we should. We
Yeah.
should definitely make a playlist. Definitely. Yeah.
Cool.
So you wanna just like take it on home?
Yeah.
It is my mom's birthday.
Yeah, we're
65.
gonna go
Jan Van Opel.
see his mom
Mama
and
V.
grandma today.
Mwah,
and-
mwah, mwah, mwah. November 14th. Big 65. Happy birthday, Mom. I'm not sure if you've figured out that you can just watch Twitch by clicking that link I send you, and it'll open in an internet web browser. But if
Yeah.
you're watching right now, happy birthday. And if not, I'll wish you a happy birthday later when I see you for dinner. Any other, you want to give a happy birthday shout out to?
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Mama V.
Yeah.
And I'll show you again. I'll give you a quick little tutorial on how to watch Twitch if you want to see our show in real time live stream.
AC's got band practice.
1
We
p.m.
Some driving to do.
1 p.m. to 3 p.m. every other Sunday. You can catch us the Tomorrow Show, and just to get down on the way out, I made this little 3 and Beats Terrified full song video. I'm excited for you all to see. And network, if you could keep us on that side panel so viewers can see our dance moves as we play it out, it'd be awesome. Network.
Scared that I'm failing, scared of regret. Scared that I'm failing, scared of regret. Scared you don't like me, but you don't even know me yet. Scared that I'm failing, scared of regret. Scared that I'm failing, scared of regret. Scared you don't like me, but you don't even know me yet.
Terrified Friday night, I'm at my wit's end. The reason I just got paid and all bills on this check, what's left? Enough for a trip to Aldi's to keep my stomach fed. So much I dread, still have to keep it going. I'm hoping that my stress really isn't showing, but know that it's all written on my face. This high anxiety has me in a weird place. My mental state needs help, so I ask. So every other Monday night, talking about my past. An hour long leaves me strong, still I'm still shaking. Trying to stay positive, life is what you make it. Still face it, misery is getting the best of me. For some reason, this silly sucker out here wants my company. Come for me, I can't scream, keep the tears from my eyes. All these panic attacks, it leave me terrified.
I'm terrified and scared that someone who I felt like would always be there is fighting for their life right now, and I'm terrified. All that fear's got me freaking out. Thoughts scrambling, I feel with doubt. Every worry from every day, every to-do list jotted on the page. Every bill in debt to pay. Every dream I've yet to see. All that shit starts haunting me. And a big ass thunderous cyclone inside my head, unrelenting. Close my eyes, try some breathing. You're not gonna die, but holy shit, I'm terrified. Scared that I'm feeling, scared of regret. Scared that I'm feeling, scared of regret. Scared you don't like me, but you don't even know me yet. Scared that I'm feeling, scared of regret. Scared that I'm feeling, scared of regret. Scared you don't like me, but you don't even know me yet. Bye. We love you. Bye.